Hello, I'm Eric, and welcome to my madness. This video, I'm going to continue looking at Galactic Empires. I'm going to start out opening up a set of booster packs that I have here, and if that doesn't take too long, I'll probably move on to opening the four starter decks that I have left as well. So the first set of packs I have are for the let's see, which camera do I want here? This is the one that I wanted. Primary Edition Series 2. This is very shiny, so it's very tough to see, but this primary edition came out in 1994. So I opened a couple of these during my first set of starter pack openings. Gonna open a few more of these, couple more. Take a look at them. And then we'll move on to the later sets. Corporate Heavy Cruiser, that's not a bad card. Lesser Automaton, Radioactive Dust Cloud, Krebiz escort capsule, transporter malfunction. Confidential first chief executive deputy assistant to the Ditto. Boarding party. Fuser mechanism. Transporter. Independent prior ship. And an Endurgan female was under that. Political upheaval. So this initial set had 4 main empires and 4 minors, I believe. We have the Scintillating Dragoness. This is actually one of the ones that goes with the Dragons in Space puzzle, which I have up here. This is not a particularly rare card, but you can see it right in the center of the puzzle there. Bactrian Light Cruiser. Cursed Alien Artifact. Meteor Shower. Blar 4. Krebiz Science Capsule. Planet. Moon. Durgan Escort. Hot Nobelium. Durgan Female. Check System. Okay. So I suspect I'm looking at something right now. I think the Dragoness is the very rare card out of the pack. It's a rare card. Okay, I'm not sure what the very rare card would have been then. Each pack's supposed to have a very rare. Maybe the Cursed Alien Artifact. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I opened so many of these. I have so many of them. It's not even funny. Now we have Powers the Mind. This set is perhaps one of the worst sets that they released. They had 10 different expansions and a bunch of promotional cards, and Powers the Mind sucked. Although I did start out with one decent card, and that's because this is one of the foil hologram cards that they had in it, Psychanti Conflagration. This one is an occurrence card that could be played to boost your Psychanti. May only be used in a Psychanti deck. And that's one of the reasons why this set was one of the worst. It This set introduced 3 new empires that you could only get in this set. You got them in booster packs, and in order to get enough of them to make a difference, it was almost impossible when the game was released. Here's a Psi outpost, which is mostly useful for size because it can be used in a Psi deck only. So it's the Psychanti and the Visonic Psi Empires. Pending Chaos. Come on. Opposition Extension. Allows a Visonic or Psychanti. So again, this one's only useful by the two Psi Empires. Field of Minor Wilding. This is a field card introduced in this set, and only a couple were released outside of it. It's used by Psis. These are Psi abilities, so really only useful in a Psi deck. Psi Mutation. This one could harm a Psi, played on an opponent's Psi. So here's a card that can actually be used against a Psi deck. A Psi Healer who could heal Psis. Felarian Mind Lord. Now, the Felarians were the third empire that was introduced. These are basically like Gua'uld from Stargate, or they're basically parasites, mind control parasites. So they were an interesting empire, but again, to get enough cards to actually play it, you need a bunch of these. I got one, this booster, and obviously you're only going to get one or two out of a booster. Parasitic Apostle, Bizonic Apostle. Oh, Parasitic Dispersion. I was reading the next card down. Parasitic Dispersion and Visonic Apostle. So here's the Visonic Empire. So that's only useful in a Visonic deck. A Corporeal Traveler. So I forgot when I opened that first booster, although it opened pretty decent. I kind of want to save these, so I'm going to be cutting these along the bottom just to try to not damage the booster pack. Undiscovered System. So this is actually a pretty decent system, especially for the time that it was played, or the time that it came out. There were a lot of promo terrain, which were way better than later stuff that came out. But for the time that came out, that would have been a good card to find. Opposite Extension. Here's a field card only usable by Psis, really. Another Psi Mutation. Another Psi Healer. A Bizonic Pledge. So this is just a minor Psi card. And Psi cards are designated in the corner. Drain Psi. Terrain Attack Shuttle. That one's not horrible. Bizonic Ruins, which is only usable in a Bizonic deck. Psychanti Planetesimal. This is basically a Psychanti homeworld. CFO. This one's actually pretty decent outside of a side deck. Pretty sure that one got reprinted in Universe, though. Side training base, a training site. So a lot of the cards were only really usable in side decks, and even the ones that were generally useful, they were too rare to come out in that set. So you couldn't get enough of them. There's a reason why they were one of the very common sets to still be around. Aside from the number that were printed, this set was just for the players. It was a really horrible set to have. You couldn't get enough good cards out of it. Now, Time Gates, on the other hand, is easily one of the best sets that they released. And the reason for that is there are a lot of time cards. And when I say time cards, I mean basically cards with the name time in them. But it wasn't just because they had the name time in them. They generally had really good effects on the game. So Time Lore, Time Enclave, which this is used by the Time Knights, which are one of the empires they introduced. Wonder if I'll get any in these two boosters. If not, I'll pull one out of the booster box later, I'm sure. Time expansion. So up to 4 cards of equal or lesser strength than this card do not count as card plays on this turn. So this is an O5 card. So you could play this card and then get 4 card plays out of it if you have 4 strength 5 or less cards in your hand. So that's what I mean by time cards were usually pretty powerful effects. You were because you only had 3 card plays per turn in a standard game. Swark Breed, Temporal Snake. Here's first card with a time strength. One of the things that Galactic Empires got wrapped up in was introducing new rules sets into the game. They introduced the time origin in this one. So cards with a time strength like that time snake, when they got destroyed in the regular play area, they moved into the time origin and then could stay and play there. So it added a whole new play area, not quite a mini game, but kind of a mini game, a separate section. So every set they tried to add these new rules concepts to the game, and it got more and more complex as time went on. Cessation of production. Shipping delays. Now this is one of the cool cards that they introduced, although this is one of the ones that some people would have disliked. There's 10 versions of this card that slowly show that monster starting out inside that crate, jumping out and scaring the hell out of that poor shipping clerk. Swark Breed. Temporal compression. So Time Gates is, like I said, generally considered one of the stronger of the sets. Trinoan Frigate. So here's one of the Trinoan cards. This is a time ship. It's got a time strength of 2/8. So in the normal universe, it has a strength of 2. If once it gets destroyed in the normal universe, it moves into the time origin where it has a strength of 8. Intercept action. Invasion force. Cyber cyst. Shipment distortion generator. That's not bad. Oh, here's a literal time ship. This could be used to ferry time knights in and out of the time origin. Accelerated burn. Time jump. There's another shipping delays with a different picture. This time he's bearing down on poor dude. Veterinarian. Same monster, different dilemma. He's going after the vet who's trying to heal him here. This is actually a really good card for dragon decks if you ever played a dragon deck, because it's a crew card, so you could put it in play, and every turn it would provide 3 healing points for a dragon or a monster. It's a reaction card as well, which means that in response to taking damage, you could play the veterinarian, get 3 healing points, and undo 3 points of damage, basically. A large time enclave for your time knights. I got these. These are a little beat up. We'll see what they have to offer. Universe Edition was generally a good set. It just had so much of the same stuff that you had in every other set, because it took from primary New Empires, a little bit from Powers of the Mind, Time Gates. So you would tend to see the same cards over and over again, especially if you bought a lot of primary, which I did. Back in the day, you could buy a case of primary, which case had 6 booster boxes, for about $15 plus $15 shipping. I bought a couple of those. The cheapest the booster boxes ever really went for was about $10 each plus 15 shipping for any of the other products. So I bought a fair few of the other ones that were pretty common. This one's got a big old sticker on it, so I just want to rip it open. Safe haven. All crew on the terrain card cannot be directly attacked. That's pretty decent. Armory moon, so small terrain moon. Scorpion minesweeper. E1 distribution node for your mech edge ships. Volatile terrain. Spiritual leader. Interstellar plasma. Aldebrick element. Forced retreat. Saw this one before in the first release there. Flood. Offensive defensive electronic warfare. Instant reaction. Spiritual guidance. And a mercenary. Now, one of the things I did want to show was a difference in the two editions here. Kind of want to see if I can find one real quick. It's the same one or similar. Might just go with a terrain because it's right there. I'm asked all the time, since I have the main website, the Galactic Empires Card Museum, what are the differences between the sets? Well, here is on the top a primary edition card, and on the bottom here, get it to stop bouncing. Universe edition card. Now, the borders are thinner on the primary edition. You can see on the primary edition cards, or on the universe edition cards, much thicker border. You can see that bezeled edge around the edge of the card itself, as well as a bezeled edge on the inside of the picture frame, where most of the primary edition cards and New Empires and earlier had these big picture frame type frames on the inside there. Those are the biggest differences that can be spotted pretty easily, is the change of the border width between editions. The primary edition also, you can see the printing looks a lot redder. Back of the card, it's not always true though, because you can see that one on the left is a little darker, the one on the right's really red. And that's really the big differences that you can pull out, is those the bezeled edges. Next booster, we get a corporate dreadnought. That's a pretty good corporate card. Ship. Large asteroid. POT cutter. Krebiz armor. Pulsar. Here's our friendly Pulsar again. Lucky shield repair, damage control team. This one, similar to the veterinarian, it repaired 2 points of damage to your ship. That's a nice picture too, as far as like random alien stuff goes. Planet Gouge, Invencio Guardian, Illness, Distribution Node, Trophy Hunter, Tram Refit, and a Transporter Mine. This one doesn't want to come out. These packs were kind of all wrinkled up on me. Research developer, tier system, Clydon warship. This was the other empire introduced in New Empires, and it's one of my favorites. Krebiz scout ship, planetary transporter, bartender, comet impact, snare vines, a nurse. Hello, nurse. Tina A. Thomas. She did a lot of artwork for Magic the Gathering. C4 Marine, cyber programmer. There's our friendly pulsar again. Out of season. And G1 time manipulation. G cards were agenda cards. And once again, the cards don't really want to squeeze out of the pack. B9 Starbase. These are always nice. Nice big Starbase. Nebular Cluster. And here is a Scorpede Sector Headquarters. One of the hologram cards. And this one's notable for the printing mistake they made. The top title says Scorpede Sector Headquarters. The bottom one accidentally says Mechad Sector Headquarters. Krebiz escort ship. Infestation inhibitor. Spiritual leader. Tactical retreat. Crewman. Science officer. Spiritual guidance. Another C2 mercenary. T4 distant sun, and a B4 spiritual temple. So I have 2 more Universe Edition boosters to go. And I'll be doing the Piracy and the Persona. Now, Piracy right now, there's not a lot available. Really expensive, though. I got 1 booster. Ship Collector. That's not a bad monster. You notice he has a heck ton of shields on the top there, which makes him difficult to stop collecting ships. Looks like he's got a little booby prize on, or prize in the lower right-hand corner. T5 small system. EOT destroyer. Krebiz battle cruiser. That's a pretty good ship for the Krebiz. Police cutter. Sysop. Wandering desire. Crewman. Science officer. A captain. This, they actually reused the artwork from the front of the New Empires box on this card, so that's kind of cool. Volatile terrain. Helmsman, cyber programmer, and cargo. So 1 more of these left. We We have an S9 corporate battleship. So this is the biggest corporate ship that was released except for the S10, which was a ultra rare from Advanced Technologies. So that's a good ship. Brown Dwarf, 2-4 Escort, Aqaaran medium cruiser, volatile terrain, damage control team, quantum occurrence, ring party, and I have no idea why these go back and forth the way they do. Teamster, shuttlecraft, a shuttle malfunction. And all of a sudden it doesn't want to keep focus. Come on. It's doing good for a minute there. Sometimes it just grabs something in the background. My camera does not want to give it up. Police cutter, survey shuttle, and our friendly pulsar again. So that's it for this set. It's time to move on to my last two booster packs. So Piracy, I opened up quite a few of these back in the day. Because they were not rare. They were just as common as any of the other sets. Persona, however, I haven't opened up very many of these at all. Back when the sets originally came out, I had a few of these. And then they were not available at all for anything resembling a reasonable price. So we have a Vectrian asteroid station. Come on, come on. Focus, my man, focus. Extra Leopan carrier cruiser. So Leopan were Empire introduced in the Piracy set. Travel agency, or medium raider, corporate pirate. So corporate pirate were a minor empire introduced that were kind of related to the pirate empire or the corporate empire. Of course, everything in the piracy expansion had to do with piracy. Time Monarch. So this is a really good card. I like this pull since I don't have one of these. Well, I do now. This is basically a Time Knight C66 crew. Repair points can only be used to repair damage to the Time Origin, so he could repair the Time Origin. So I like that. That was a very good pull. Installation field, planet gouge, party animals, and a chef. So the rest of the cards, not so great. Not sure if I have a M4 planet gouge or not. The installation field, I think I have one of, so that'll give me a second one. So that wasn't too bad. About the only thing better I could have pulled from that set from Persona is the oh, what is it? There's the Senior Admiral, I think it is, which is really good, and one of the ultra rares, which I'll get to pull an ultra rare out of my two booster boxes that I have, because each one of those will have one. So I have corporate deck, a Krebiz deck, a Aqaaran, and a Gecko. Gonna start with the corporate deck. Stack these off to the side. Now, each one of these from Universe Edition on had 100 cards in it that were supposed to be semi-random and semi-fixed. As far as semi-fixed goes, there was a certain set of Empire-specific cards each starter deck would have, and then there would be like random cards in the rest. But even the random cards, I think, were supposed to be semi-fixed, where you would get certain amounts of terrain or certain amounts of other cards. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've opened starter decks. I didn't pay that close attention when I did, because at that time I was just going through cards by the bucketful. So of course this comes with a rule book. Rule book has an insert here for the play area diagram, which variously appeared on the in the rule book at different times. So we're going to start out with, and we're going to start out with moving some stuff off the field so that my camera can focus. Not or focus. Come on. Corporate escort, corporate homeworld, corporate sector headquarters. This is like all the headquarters cards, a foil of all the headquarters cards in this set anyway. And every single one of the Universe Edition starters, the ones from actual Universe Edition, have a foil headquarters in it. Every single starter deck has a headquarters card in it, except for a couple of the empires which never got headquarters. So we have an S7 battle cruiser, an S6 corporate heavy cruiser, S3 destroyer, S4 minesweeper, an S4 light cruiser, a warp field destabilization gun, which is a special equipment just for corporate frigate, their corporate frigate, corporate escort, corporate escort, scout cruiser, minesweeper, light cruiser, destroyer, frigate, command cruiser. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 ships and 2 more cards. So 20 Empire specific cards in that deck. And we move on to, and some of these are upside down, some of these are right side up, some of these are flipped over. Tactical officer, stress beacon, prophet, hollow body, planetary storm, Potiker prime. Logic, strategy, small phaser reel, small shield fiend. Independent tug, we have a Mechad supercomputer, which you couldn't use in a corporate deck, stellar plasma, forming system, planet, a dependency world, at a landing officer, military outpost, ancient ruins, and heavy planetary shield. Cosmic cyclone, spiritual leader, tactical retreat, globular cluster, small system, phaser base, boarding crew, engineer, and an escaped prisoner. Political upheaval. B6 battle station. Emergency rescue ship. ionized particle field, Zambrez planet, plasma field, planetary phaser base, another boarding party, another engineer, and another escaped prisoner. M6 mind control beast. Now this dude looks pretty cool. Nasty monster. Heavy weapon refit, large minefield, a dragon hole, which is mostly useful if you have some dragons. Protostar, asteroid field, natural disaster, offensive electronic warfare, and flood. Have a heavy shuttlecraft, divergent anomaly, ion storm, lucky crew action. Twist of fate, black hole, Silix eye, large asteroid, Sacha's comet, and Birouac comet. Teamster, explosive mine, phaser refit, stealth fighter, and illness. Temporal mechanic. This one I remember was printed in the time gates for sure, being a temporal mechanic. Navigator, insanity, moon, armory moon, periodic comet, Indirigan destroyer, freighter, planetary shield, defensive satellite, planetary vault, penal colony, refueler, asteroid belt, dragon egg, and artificial satellite. So as a playable deck, this might almost be. Of course, you'd have to ditch the one mech-ad ship that's in there, and forget if I saw anything else that wasn't corporate, but it might almost be a playable deck. So next we have the Krebiz deck. Krebiz were another one of my favorites. Just like the Aqaaran, actually, they combine ships together to make stronger ships. And I kind of like that because it meant that your small ships could be useful making bigger ships. However, in Universe Edition, they changed it so that all the ships were combined ships. Instead of having two separate ships, you had one ship. As you can see on the card here, we have a mandible cruiser. Come on, focus. Mandible cruiser and heavy capsule. There we go. A heavy carrier. So that's an S6 and an S2. Battle cruiser, S7. Light carrier. Krebiz armor. Escort ship. Minesweeper. Scout ship. Command ship. Light carrier. Another light carrier. Their Krebiz armor. Escort ship. Minesweeper. Scout ship. Command ship. Sebo sequencer. Scout ship. Krebiz monolith. Which a lot of the starter deck, you'll see this card as the card showing through the window. And of course, the Krebiz sector headquarters, which you can see is one of the hologram cards. Suspect this is going to be 20 cards again. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Although there were 16 ships, I think, because there were two Krebiz armors in there, plus the monolith in the headquarters. Alrighty. Come on. Suspended animation. That's a very rare card. Elfin Wave. Monster Healing. Now, mentioned earlier about the Veterinarian. This one does basically the same thing as the Veterinarian. R/L4. It's a luck card. It provides 4 points of instant healing to a monster or dragon. The big difference is this is a luck card. It's discarded after use. Veterinarian provides 3 points of healing, but he stays in play. Dragon Egg, artificial satellite. So there's some subtlety and some tactics you can use to get maximum effect. These cards. Heavy planetary shield. This one has a ton of shields. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 shields altogether. Planetary phaser base. C1 boarding party. C2 engineer. C9 general. Obtaining pastime. Have energy reserve. Sacha's comet. Asteroid field. And Viroix comet. Super common cards. Logic. Landing officer. Military outpost. Ancient ruins. Check system. Independent pirate ship. C4 boarding party by Nene Tina Thomas. Planetary storm. Prime. Come on, there. Large asteroid. Lucky crew action. Shield fiend. Small phaser reel. Strategy. Maelstrom. Seductress. B5. Administrative facility base. Small planet. A dependency world. Apollo body. Stealth fighter. Heavy shuttlecraft. Urgent anomaly. Ion storm. Criminal judge. Wandering desire. Krebiz armor. In the Krebiz deck. It's actually a useful card. Small moon. Quantum black hole. Plasma. Plasma field. Accelerated aging. Automation. Power generation platform. Alien artifact. Kind of neat. Trilateral Textagula. This is the one dragon card. One dragon in space card. That's not a dragon card. It's the upper right hand most of the dragon in space puzzle. Saboteur. Come on. Sysop. Hollow body. Ionized particle field. A brown dwarf. 7 cybermites. Hospital providing a lot of research points, and an ore carrier. Couple. Sorry. Suicide Squad, and then Rogue Couple. This one's useful. This is one of the few cards that allows you to take control of your opponent's ships. Zaroom, Aurora Borealis, Protostar, Asteroid Field, Captured Satellite, Base Station, Temporal Correction, Spy, Fleet Tug, B7 Academy, so pretty good base. This one's actually got really good in that it has 2 command points. It only takes 1 energy to run. So It gives you extra command slots, which are important to the game because your ships and bases are limited to your number of command slots. Mercenary, alien love interest, armory moon, periodic comet, dragon hole, and an escaped prisoner, weapons officer, city, and one more card, hot nobelium, which allows your dragons to do lots of damage. So I actually got a fair few dragon cards in these two decks and almost no dragons. But that's okay. I have tons of dragon cards elsewhere. The Aqaaran deck. This is one of the ones I really wanted to get my hands on because, well, both the Aqaaran and the Gecko. Uh, I never got my hands on headquarters cards for those two players. I bought a bunch of singles a long time ago. They gave me basically enough ships to make playable decks, more or less. I never got a headquarters card. So there better be a headquarters card in here like they're supposed to be. I also only got about one of each of the Aquarian ships. So, up there's the Aquarian sector headquarters right there, halfway down. Now, the Aquarian Empire cards, for some reason, didn't put Aquarian in title anywhere. They're fairly obvious what they are. The Aquarian, unlike any of the other empires, all of their bases were ships and their ships were bases. So whichever one was the stronger of the ship or base is what it was considered as. So this is an S2 outpost craft or B6. So B6 is what it's really considered as, but it could act as either a ship or a base. This one is an S6 ship and a B5 base. So this is an S6 ship that could act as a base. Outpost craft, producer, command craft, old fast ship, command post, Aquarian command site, Aquarian craft site. Aquarians usually obtain permission, persuaded the planetary leaders of various systems to allow Aquarian craft to land on their suns. Surface craft, patrol craft. It was a scout patrol craft. This is just a patrol craft. Base responder, light craft, water tanker craft, light craft, and another flight craft. So I got three of them. Destroyer, defender craft, submersible, submarine, suspended animation. Didn't I just have that one? That's kind of funny. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. And unlike the Universe Edition Empires, these ones are not foil, sadly. But good cards to add to my collection. And everything else in here should be Universe Edition. Elfin Wave, another Monster Healing, Dragon Egg, artificial satellite, a moon, garbage scow, fleet freighter, an illness, old vein, general, entertaining pastime, reserve power, comet, asteroid belt, another comet, lodge, web crawler, snare vines, Invencio Guardian, Cortex system, pirate ship, boarding party, planetary storm, Potiker Prime. This is all stuff we've seen for the most part, with one or two extras. Strum, Seductress, Criminal Judge. I don't think we saw that one before. Krebiz Armor, useless in this deck. Plasma Field, Gravity Pocket, Phaser Malfunction, Intercept Action, Small Phaser Reel, Trilateral, Saboteur, Sisop, Hollow Body, Ionized Brown Dwarf, Transporter, Dust Cloud, Gravity Wave, Small Minefield, another rogue couple, Zoom, Aurora Borealis, Protostar, Asteroid Field, Captured Satellite, Marine, Train Attack Shuttle, a Mine, Shuttlecraft, D7 Academy, C6 Mercenary, Love Interest, Armory Moon, Periodic Comet, Dragon Nest, Illness, Forced Retreat, Flood, and a Nurse. Here we have the point symbols on the back of the version 2 of the rulebook. One more to go. This video looks like it's going to be just about an hour long as well. Maybe just over an hour. Depends on how long this takes. This is weird. That last one was like a hard plastic. The first two were soft plastic, and this one's soft plastic. Gekonauak, Gekonauak, Gekonauak Sector Headquarters. So I didn't have this one for my Gecko deck. Gecko are generally considered one of the strongest races in the game. They do have a weakness that, come on, focus. They have no shields. They have a heck ton of antimatter pellets, which is heavy weapons. Hornet, Hornet, Stinger, Stinger, Stinger. Trying to remember, because there was one of the low-level cards, might be the Hornet. There's two different versions of it. Oh, yep, it is the Hornet. One of these has two maneuvering systems, one of these has one. Otherwise, they're pretty much identical, except the one with the two maneuvering systems requires 2 energy. Stingers are all exactly identical, though. Gecko Wasp, another Wasp, a Needle, Apprentice, Trainee, Gekonauak Sub Warriors, Warriors, Worker, Queen. We have Outpost and a Moon. Other than providing a bunch of ammo, the Moon doesn't do anything. All Gekonauak ships in play ignore the first point in each opponent volley. So basically, all geckos take one less damage each turn. Well, each volley, which normally you can only have one volley in a turn against the target. So that's a useful world to have, as it helps protect the geckos. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 gecko cards. So I'm just going to blast through this pretty fast since these are going to be mostly cards we've seen. Temporal Mechanic, Astromorph, Double Agent, Large Asteroid, Sochi's Comet, Ferox Comet, Lucky Crew Action, Gold Vein, Offensive Electronic Warfare, Military Outpost, Planetary Revolt. That one I think is new to this. Prevents an opponent's terrain from producing points. Ando, False Intelligence, Apollo Body, Planetary Storm, Atakur Strategy, Handheld Weapon, Divergent Anomaly, Gravity Wave, Twist of Fate Ion Storm, Unlucky Targeting, Forming System, Siguri Prime, Dependency World, Explosive Mine, Phaser Refit, Heavy Weapon Refit, Heavy Phasers, Tactical Officer. There's another one with that darn monster in it. There's another shipping delays. This just peeking his way out of the box. Heavy Weapon Refit, Globular Cluster, couple planets, Ancient Ruins, Movement. Now, I didn't really show this one off the first 18 times I came across it. This one, when played in reaction, may substitute himself for another crew. So he's the red shirt. If you one of your crew gets targeted, you can have the red shirt die. Science Officer, Ship from the Future, Time Warp. Time Warp is one of the very rares that's very useful. Time Warp will be played on a card or stack of cards in play. Time Warp lasts a number of turns equal to its strength. The card or cards affected are treated as if they were not there. So you can play it on one of your own cards that you want to protect for some reason. It takes it out of play for one turn. Or you can play it on an opponent's card to get it out of your way, which makes it a useful and versatile card. Political Upheaval, Captured Satellite, Apollo Body, Ionized Particle Field, Warp Funnel, Web Crawler, Planet Gouge, Small Shield Fiend, Miscommunications, Cosmic Ray, Repair Malfunction, A Dragon Hole, Protostar, Asteroid Field, Transporter, Dust Cloud, Ion Storm, Radioactive Dust Cloud. Here's an Ambassador. This one's new. I'm pretty sure he's an ultra rare in this set. I think he's one of the ones I did not have in Universe Edition. I think I have a bunch of him in primary, but no Universe. Serious Hull Breach, Sea Power, Moon, Armory Moon, Periodic Comet, Ordnance Officer, Boarding Party, Teamster, Shuttlecraft, Mind Control Beast, Android, Female, Asteroid Belt, Dragon Egg, Artificial Satellite, Defensive Satellite, Space Station, Research Base, and a boarding craft, or boarding party. So if you want to check out Galactic Empires anymore, you can look up my website, which is the Galactic Empires Card Museum. You can find it at galacticempires.no-ip.org/GE. or just do a Google search for Galactic Empires Card Museum and you'll find it. Y'all have yourselves a good day. See you around. HMI Module Alpha Humana on approach to Space Station Mercury.